CED with my friend really for 35 years, Wayne Morse, clinical engineer, USA, and also the new secretary of the Global Clinical Engineering Alliance. So Wayne, tell us about your job these days as a clinical engineer over in the West Coast US.
I'm retired.
No, you're not.
Actually, I own a company that focuses on remote medicine, primary cruise ship industry, and they recognize me as a senior clinical engineer and turn to me for many questions about technology and what should be equipped in the medical center for cruise lines. At one point at my years of Morse Medical, I used to also maintain the medical equipment on cruise lines, but that's been gone for about 10 to 12 years now.
So it was about 1991, I think you asked this distinguished clinical engineer, Yadin David, to write a book when you were at Space Labs. Tell about that.
That was an interesting time of my life in which I had just moved into a new position at Space Labs Medical, and Yadin had worked with the organization to do a couple things. One was to consider starting a new professional organization called American College of Clinical Engineering, and Space Labs made a commitment financially and gave my time to go do that. So starting in '90, we started doing newsletters and making that happen. And then here's an interesting story. It's a great question. So back in the 60s, Tektronix came out with a book called Biophysical Measurements, which was a pretty exciting book at that time, even though it used old-fashioned oscilloscopes to describe waveforms. And Tektronix division was sold to Squibb in the late 70s, and Space Labs Medical was also sold to Squibb. So I had approached the president, Carl Lombardi, to redo that book. And so I went McGraw-Hill. They said yes, they wanted $10,000, and he said no. He wasn't ready to make that commitment. But later on, he changed his mind, and we started producing books. I had the pleasure of working with some esteemed people, including Dr. Rawlings, and Yadin, and you participated in doing a book on technology management. And we were very excited. The books had been well received in the industry. And I did a lot of training and education with the books. I really have enjoyed the resources of them. And we're hoping soon we'll redo them. We've gotten permission from Space Labs to update the books and release them. So we should see that come live in 2021.
So my quick side of the story is Dr. David, of course, started ACCE with others of us in 1990, and we started our international workshops in 91. And because of that interaction with Yadin, he said, Tom, join me in this Medical Technology Management Space Labs Biophysical Measurement Series book. And I had a time in Washington, D.C. working with the Navy and had some time on my hands because my family was down in Georgia. So by 1993, Yadin and I had co-authored that book, and hopefully it's had some life to it and people can still use it. But thanks for that, Wayne. So how have you seen clinical engineering change over the years? And this is actually our closing question for right now. But I know you're still involved. You're the secretary of this new alliance, and so you're helping us enter this new chapter in our history.
I think back in the 70s and 80s, there was a struggle what it meant to be a clinical engineer as a bypass, a buy-off of biomedical engineering. And I think people like you and Yadin and myself and other people really put clarification what it meant to be a clinical engineer. And I happened to be one of the first people to be certified as a clinical engineer with a written exam. So it was really cool to see the foundation of this profession get launched during that period of time. And today, some 30, 40 years later, I am just ecstatic to see how it's gone globally and how the profession has now been recognized by hospital administration, understanding the need of having proper and safe use of technology in the hospital environment. And I really credit that to people committed to this profession and what has been accomplished in the last 30 to 40 years.
It's an exciting journey together, and we're in a new chapter. Thanks for your time today, Wayne.
I will also make one minor comment. I also would like to recognize Dr. Drawing a blank now, sorry, Malcolm Ridgway.
Love Malcolm, yep. Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Malcolm had been my mentor and still alive, kicking, and is well respected what he did back in the Century Guards for electrical safety.
Malcolm's the man. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.